Hello everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw a clone commando from Star Wars Battlefront. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll find a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Okay, this is another request. Getting into a lot of requests, trying to catch us up on stuff. But another one that I don't know. I never played Battlefront, you know, I'm not going to lie. I was doing other stuff, figuring stuff out in my own life and whatnot, and that's okay. No big deal. But I'm just being honest that, I never played this, so I don't know anything about this character. Or, the skin, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I honestly had no idea what it even was. When someone said Clone Commando, I was like, well, aren't they all Clone Commandos? I mean, isn't that what everything is called? It's a command, like a squad, but no, I guess apparently it's its own thing, right? So I looked it up, and you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot on here that people are requesting that I have no idea about. So bear with me, and sometimes it's a little embarrassing that I have no idea. But that's what learning is, is finding stuff out about things you don't know, and that's okay. There's no reason to be embarrassed or not want to ask about stuff. Ooh, okay. Let's talk about that. Embarrassment of not knowing, Man, I'm telling you, when I was a kid in school, I was shy. I was known as Smiling John. I was a happy kid, and I loved to make everybody laugh. That was my thing, right? But super ridiculously shy. I hated, like everybody, hated talking in front of people. I hated the embarrassment of not knowing something. And eventually I grew out of it, so that's where I'm trying to go with this, is that, we're all like that. Heck, a lot of us are even like that now still, so don't like talking or don't want to do this or that, but it's nothing to be, I don't want to say embarrassed of, because obviously your feelings are your own. If you feel embarrassed or you're unsure of something and you don't want to speak up and that's how you feel, well, that's how you feel. I'm not going to tell you don't feel that way. That's like telling someone, don't be happy. It's like that's their own life. If that's what you want to do, if that's how you are, okay. I'm just trying to say it's okay if you feel that way. We all go through that kind of stuff is what I'm trying to say. And just thinking about this, about not knowing and the embarrassment of asking and whatnot, we've all been through that. And some of us are still going through that. So, don't feel bad about it. Or don't beat yourself up. That's what I'm trying to say. If you feel bad, embrace your feelings is what I'm trying to say. Don't cover up anything. But what I mean is, if you feel bad, try not to. Don't beat yourself up that you feel bad, because it happens, and we all go through it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So back off my rant of stop crying, crybaby. That's not what I was trying to say. I'm just trying to be silly. I'm just saying that, man, not knowing this, it happens that you suffer the embarrassment of, man, I don't know. I don't want to embarrass myself by saying I don't know it and everybody laugh at me. But you know what? People might laugh because they think you already do, and they're like, oh, that's crazy. I didn't think so. And maybe some of them are malicious and laugh at you because you don't know. Who cares? I've gotten to a great point in my life that I stopped caring about what other people think. I care enough to better myself, that kind of thing, and I'm not saying I don't care at all, but I just mean that other people's feelings don't dictate my life. That's what I'm trying to say. So I care. I do care. I care a lot. That's why I'm doing these drawings. I want you to be able to draw them too. But You know, I'm just trying to say, embarrassment happens. Not knowing happens, and you just got to work through it and live with it, you know. But that's what I'm trying to say. Learning, it's an experience, and if you're embarrassed over it, not knowing something, okay, you know, once you get past that, then it's time to move on and learn your stuff. But that's also where I'm trying to go with this too, is we shouldn't be embarrassed. Why, as people, are we embarrassed for not knowing something? You know, why is it we feel we can't speak up when it's like, oh, I can't let them know that I don't know this? You know, why? Why do we feel that way? Why is it other people's actions that dictate our feelings, you know? It's crazy. But that's how life is. Sometimes that's how we feel. But the other thing is, you know, like I said, you're going to learn, you're going to grow, and you're going to either learn from this experience or you're not. You know, that's the other trick, is sometimes you don't. And that's something to accept too. Is, you know, well, maybe I didn't learn anything on this one. Maybe this wasn't my time to shine. Okay. Don't beat yourself up. Try, you know. I'm not saying don't try to do something, but you know, that's how life goes sometimes. Sometimes it's a learning lesson. Sometimes you're there to teach somebody. Ooh, there you go. There's a good life lesson. Is, you know, a lot of people say that everything happens for a reason. Well, maybe your reason is to help the other person learn something, you know? So not everything is a learning experience, because sometimes it's a teaching experience, or it's a helping experience. You know, you're not going to get something out of every experience. You might be there to help somebody with theirs, which is what I'm doing here. I'm helping you with yours. I'm helping you to learn these figures. Or these skins, I guess. I don't know. I'm saying figure like it's an action figure. Okay, I think I'm good with the sketch. So I think I can move on to the actual Sharpie portion. Let me get my eraser, 1 second. Sorry, I was moving around and I forgot to grab it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase some of these sketch lines. I want my Sharpie to stand out, not my pencil line, so I'm just going to lightly erase, because the first few lines I was putting down, those are my sketch lines. That was placement. I was just trying to get the look of it and make sure it was not going to fall off the page, and make sure I got the parts in the right place. And as I got more confident, I pressed harder, and those were my confidence lines. So what I'm erasing here lightly is the first initial sketch lines, because those will erase pretty easily. Confidence lines take more pressure. So I'm just kind of lightly hitting it. And that's how you can live your life. You're gonna get rid of your sketchiness and keep your confidence. All right. We on the page? Barely. Okay. I might move it down just a hair. Hang on. Just a hair. That'll work. That'll work. It's right on the edge, but that'll work. Okay. I say we welcome all the skippers and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than the fine point. You can find things that the fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out. I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. And if you want to find more troopers and Star Wars stuff, go look at this playlist up here, and you can see a whole bunch of different things that I've drawn. But I'm going to just jump right in with this Sharpie pen, because I can control the line width much better and start drawing the face. I'm going to go ahead and do his visor, because again, I've sketched this out. I know where I'm going, and I'm just going to jump right in. If you want to see the sketch portion, go back. If not, just jump in with me. And we're going to start drawing his pieces, parts. Just because it's all sketched out and I know where it's going. That's kind of why I'm doing it like this. So I'm going to draw his little angry chin like this. And that's just kind of helping me place the rest of the stuff, because he's got his little cheek divots like this. And mostly I'm just doing this just so I can see where we are with the rest of the placement. Just to help guide me. But again, I've already sketched it out, so that's why it's easier for me to do something like this and just follow my drawing. Alright, so and also what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start to thicken up my outer edge like this, because when I switch to this Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. You know what, I want to straighten this out just a little bit. Something like that. And I'm going to accent it like this. If you're working with pencil, you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, because it helps with my thick, thin complements to the drawing. Okay, now this does have, like I said, a little cheek divot, so I'm going to come back in and do one of these. Like that, because it's subtle. So I wanted to make sure it's there, but not draw it all the way. So that's kind of why I hinted at it. Let's go ahead and draw his head so we know where we are. Okay, I'm just going to draw the dome over like this. If it's not perfect, that's okay, because I'm going to come back and do some adjustments anyway. So there you go, a little domey, there we go. That's better for me. I wanted it a little more flat on top. And that's also another nice thing about thickening up my edges, is I can hide anything that I wasn't 100% happy with and smooth things out. Okay, so for the side of his head, like I said, this is coming up. This is going to go back like that for his little the side of it, his little side face. And again, I'm thickening mine up. And if you're working with pencil, you don't have to thicken it up like this. I just know what it's going to look like with this, and so that's why I'm kind of adjusting for it, is what I'm doing. There's some flat surfaces here, and that's why I'm kind of accenting that. But mostly I'll do that with color. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to come back in here and do this. And I can do the whole front part real fast. There's like a line right there, but I think I'm going to do that with color. I'm going to keep it subtle. Let's see, I do see a line right here. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to do for the head. That way the rest we can do with color and make it stand out that way, right? Because like there's another line here, but again, let's do that with color. I think we're good. Okay, so switching over to the big Sharpie. Alright, so let's see. Now you always want to draw what's in front first. That way when you draw what's behind, there's only so much you got to draw, right? So his gun is pretty much in front of everything. So I'm going to try to get to his shoulder, over to his gun, then I can draw the rest of his body. So his neck is going to be coming down here into his, I guess, like clavicle, right? That's what you call the piece between your shoulder and your arm. And that now we're going to draw his big old armor piece. Let me see. I'm looking at different pictures because I was talking about this in the sketch. I don't know much about this character. It was a request. So I'm looking stuff up just to try to find a few ways to draw it. Sorry if I go quiet, but sometimes I concentrate on what I'm doing just to try to get it right for you. thicken this line up just a little bit. Not quite as much as the outer edge, not as thin as those, just to give it a different highlight. Okay, so working my way around, so his arm is going to come down like this, and his forearm is kind of in front of it, so let me place that real fast. That. Heck, let's go ahead and just draw it. All right, let's go ahead and get it in there. There. So it's now I put that in front of the arm right there, so that means I can draw the rest of it. Because see, this was in front of that, so that's why I wanted to make sure I drew that first. But I kind of needed this to get here. You know, it's a strange little ballet we're doing with placement. You know, it's like you can't draw this without that. You can't draw that without this, you know, so we're just kind of playing around with what we can draw, what we can see, and hoping for the best. All right, now there's a lot of detail in these armor pieces, but I kind of want to do it with color. And I'm just giving you some accents to complement the pieces. All right, so his glove, which is pretty much over all of his knuckles, so that's all we're seeing. Simple piece, just like that. So that means now I can connect the wrist like this. Okay. So he's got a finger out on the trigger. We'll go ahead and just draw the trigger. And so now we can draw the gun, and the thing about it is, we'll say the handle, well, the handle's kind of covered up by the rest of his fingers, so I'm not worried about that. The thing about it is, it's gonna have to stop for the other hand too, so it's crazy what we have to draw and not draw to make it work. It's kind of crazy. I'm gonna thicken this edge up a little bit, because see how thick this is versus that? I like it to be consistent, so I'm just doing it like this. You don't have to. Just to keep it consistent with the line width. Okay, back to the gun. So I'm not worried about straight edges. I am going to try to draw it straight across, but I'm not worried about whether it's perfectly straight or anything like that. So that's good enough for me. Now, I've got his hand in here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw his fingers. Like that, and that's all I really have to worry about too, because his glove is down like this, the back end, because you're looking at this but at an angle like that, and that's all we're worried about. I'm not worried about the placement of the rest of it, but it will help me to draw these edges where I want to put them. Again, not worried about whether, you know, it's a perfectly straight line, but I am going to try to make it straight across. I mean, just because I'm not worried about it doesn't mean I don't want to try. Like, see there, that's off. That's not straight across, but it's okay. Again, that's not the most important part, so good enough there. Look, I didn't even touch it there. It's not even closed. Now for the fingers and stuff, I will kind of add like another digit like that, just to kind of give it the knuckle look, you know. But there's only so much we're going to see anyway, and it's going to be covered in black. And look, it's all blended together anyway. Some of this stuff, sometimes you get so many different layers and drawing lines and whatnot, you kind of have to limit yourself into what you add, because it becomes just muddy, you know, too much. So here's what I also like to do. I mean, I'm following as much as I can like theirs, but I like to make sure they are manufactured parts. And what I mean by that is, you know, someone made this stuff. Let's say there's a company that makes the guns for them, and they're all parts that were put together. So I like little things like this just to kind of help define that it's something that was manufactured and put together. And it helps break up the blank space, you know? Okay, I'm gonna close this off too. And again, finger over that. Now, we've drawn what's in front, so now I can get back to the rest of what's behind. So, all you can see here of his chest piece, neck. Let me try to find a good picture of his neck. It's just a material, so I'm not worried about that. Come down like this, and his other armor piece is going to be kind of up like this. Other armor piece, his other shoulder piece of his armor is like this. Now, his chest is going to come down here, like that. Let me go ahead and do the other one too, so you see where we are. Might as well do it all, right? Something like that, and I want to do that first so I can put it in front of this arm, which is behind everything. So, forearm coming down. I'm gonna kind of do like this. I'm gonna do his elbow chunk up like that. Then I can do basically just do this. Is all you really got to do for the other arm, because it's so obscured by everything else, you can't really see it anyway. So I'm just gonna do that, just to kind of, define a few little edges, really. But all this is kind of on this side over here anyway, so I'm not too worried about anything else. Like, it's all on the underside. Let's see. But see, that's all we can really do anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. And it makes sense. It looks like he's holding a gun, All right. Okay, so let's get back to his armor. I'm going to come down here to his waist and then draw his belt. Sort of, no, I guess this is his crotch piece, right? He's got one side off like this. I mean, it's kind of a belt slash crotch piece because it looks like it holds up his pants, but it also goes down to his crotch. Okay, and there is a little bit of armor on his middle. It's kind of just spaced out, something like this. It just kind of look like placed chunks. It doesn't even look like there's a reason for it. Oh, but you know what? He does have a little bit of accent on this armor too. His chest piece. So it goes back here. And then you can't really see his pec pieces because of the gun. All right, so now for the legs is just pretty much armor. So I'm just going to draw the edge of it here, like that. I'm going to come down to his knee. In the knee pad, you're looking at the front view on this side. Close it off like that. Now, see how I floated it above? Because the thing is, there's like here, it's cloth in between. This isn't attached, so I want to make it separate. Same thing here. I want to kind of add that it's not attached, just so I can float body in between the armor. It's got to be able to bend. And so here we're going to say it goes back like this, and that's where it attaches. So let me add a few little highlights here real quick before I get too far. Like that. And it looks like there's a couple here. And one in the front. Like this. Then the foot. Then we'll do the other side. Okay, so let's make sure again I'm not falling off the page. I want to be able to draw it here. Yeah, that'll work. We just got to stop right there. Okay. And the shoes, and doesn't look like anything special, it's just a shoe. They put a lot of work into their armor and whatnot, but they don't really care about the shoes, do they? Now, I like to add lines here like it's material, but you don't really have to. It's going to be colored in black anyway. While I'm here, let's do this. Again, there's a little bit of design on the armor piece here. But again, it just looks like design. It doesn't look like there's really a reason for it. Is that hollow? Nope, there's another piece. Okay. I guess it's just to break up the spacing. The negative space, you know? Doesn't look like there's any other reason besides that. But hey, looks cool. You know, that's why we're drawing it, right? Okay, so same thing. We're gonna do armor on this side. So, like I said, break it up where it's wearing it. This, and again, we're gonna make it a solid piece. Again, connect his legs like this. And again, I like to add some wrinkles. You don't have to if you don't want to. Again, it's gonna disappear once we add the black. Gonna add this little accent like we did there, but we're looking at it from a side view. So that's all we're seeing. Same thing with the knee pad. So it's just a front knee pad. So because we're looking at it from a side point of view, that's all we're going to see. Now it's attached here. I don't know how, so we're just going to say that it's attached by a strap, something like this. They don't really show, and a lot of times they're not worried about it, especially in video games, because you just float it, you know, attach it to the skin. I'm going to actually make it functional. All right, so now I'm going to draw just like we did there, just armor down. A little bit of highlight, a little bit of connection. That, pretty simple. And just a regular old boot. Again, they put a lot of function and form into the rest of the stuff, but not the boots. Boots are no big deal, I guess. Alright, I'm gonna do something. Just to kind of show that it's pieced, you know? So there you go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is a Clone Commando from Star Wars Battlefront. So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.